It was actually started by Kathy Linsk in 1991, and she was looking to sell in 96, and no, 95, and I kept coming up to her saying, "Kathy, I'd like to buy the bookstore," and she just said, "Oh, I have someone else interested, I have someone else interested," and finally at Booktoberfest 95 she came up to me and said, "Okay, I'm ready." And then I partnered up with Trina Rogers, and we bought the bookstore in early 96. So it's been 15 years for us, but we're celebrating the survival and the thriving of this bookstore in Baristanet, in Baristaville, for 20 years. Oh, there are a lot of challenges for running an indie bookstore in this day and age. However, we're in one of the most supportive communities that I can imagine. When I tell people about the kind of readers that we have, when I tell my other colleagues in the indie world, they're really jealous. We're an incredibly well-read community. We're a community that values books for themselves, for their children. We have, for those people who have migrated to e-readers, we can now offer them through our website. And we have an incredible amount of events here at the bookstore, mostly because we have so many authors that live in town or have connections with someone in town. So we have a really lively program of events here. I mean, obviously the authors in town need to have national support and purchasing of their books. But in the very beginning, I felt very strongly about us supporting our local authors. If we've got authors from all different kinds of publishers. We have some self-published authors. And I figured if you can't get some hoopla in your own hometown, then where are you going to get it? You're certainly not going to get it from some superstore in the Midwest. So I made it part of our mission that this is what we were going to do. And we've had some incredible events with our authors here. Curation is the sexy word these days. Intimacy is another word, which is on the positive side of too small. But when people walk in here, it's hard for me to tell because we live in here all the time. So the store means one thing to us. When people first walk in from the outside, they comment on the smell of the books, I think primarily. And I think secondly, the warmth of all the wood and the brick. So, and then they look around and they realize, wow, there are books here that I've never seen anywhere else or are, hidden somewhere else. We tend not to have the commercial bestsellers because you can get them anywhere. We try to look at the books to see what we think will stimulate our readers or what they're looking for. And then there are books that we get very excited about when they first come out and that we want to share with our readers. So it's kind of a combination, and then I think people get drawn in by the fact that there are actually human beings here to talk to, especially with children's books. When you've got a new reader coming up and you have no idea what books are out or what works, we've got a great team in the kids' room that will sit down and talk to you and talk to your child, more importantly, and introduce books to them. So it's kind of a combination of all that. There are people you talk to who say, in I don't know how many years, 10, 15, 20 years, that there will be no more physical books. I can't believe that. I feel like I've met enough Luddites like me who sit in front of a screen all day long to do work, and when you want to relax, you don't want to sit in front of a screen again, and you want the book. The physical book you have a different relationship with the physical book. I think you have a more intimate relationship. There's the cover, there's the type. Everything has been thought of that puts together this great package. And I can't believe that'll be gone. I also think kids learning to read, I still believe in the power of a handheld book as opposed to a screen. But who am I? Who am I to say? And I keep saying to people, we'll be here as long as you want us to be here. So it is a collaborative process.